Visitors to Egypt have looked upon scenes like these before, but today it is no longer the peaceful movement of Arab camel trains. Cathay cameraman Terry Ashwood sees laborers on the land moving away from the tide of war as it rolls across the hot sands. The Battle of Egypt is driving them from their desert homes. News spreads through the Arab encampments, and family caravans form up to travel eastwards towards Cairo and historic Giza. It is here that the pyramids, dating back well over 5,000 years, point up to where, in the blue dome of the sky, Boston bombers head out on a raid on the enemy lines. They appear almost out of place in this land where time seems to have stood still. Egypt's pyramids are her tombs. These marvels of biblical antiquity which have withstood the ravages of time remain a constant link with the ancient past. Close by reposes the Sphinx, which has watched over Egypt for countless ages. Hewn out of the solid rock, it looks down on the busy scene of activity behind the raging Battle of Egypt. Arabs clad in their flowing white robes wave on the transports headed to the front positions, as if by so doing they will add speed to the passing lorries. Along the banks of the Nile flow the columns of motor transport, lines of supply vehicles reaching for miles along the main arterial highways. From here we travel out to the front line at El Alamein, where we see some of the activity as strong points are prepared. Men stripped to the waist and burnt black by the sun, setting about the strengthening of the defenses. Gun pits are dug and camouflage nets rigged over them. Batteries of anti-aircraft guns placed in position, ready for dealing with Stuka dive bombers. And here's one of the vital jobs carried out by the sappers, the laying of minefields. Acres of desert are sown with these landmines, any one of which can blow a tank to kingdom come as soon as it rolls over it. Striking pictures have also arrived of British tanks moving forward under cover of a smoke screen and enveloped in clouds of dust during an attack on the enemy lines. Behind the protection of their armor, men of a famous Guards regiment take up their positions, and with bayonets fixed and rifles and automatic guns at the ready, set out to join battle with the enemy. It's up Guards and at 'em. These German prisoners of the 90th Light Motorized Division, captured quite recently, are being searched prior to interrogation and then being sent back to a prison camp. Much of the Battle of Egypt is being fought in the air. Kitty Hawks of the famous Sharknose Squadron and Boston bombers at an advanced base take off in a swirl of dust thrown up by the slipstream to strike at enemy lines of communication and supply. The Kitty bombers and Bostons of the RAF and SAAF are daily pounding the Germans and Italians for all they're worth. The ops are on with a vengeance. Here go the South Africans into action. Suddenly they see the unmistakable signs of a column on the move. Drifting clouds of dust establishing the whereabouts of the enemy. This is the moment they've been waiting for. Bomb releases are snapped over, and out of the blue hurtle tons of bombs. There they go, whistling through the air, down to their mark. Fair sample of the work being done by the men in Air Force Blue out there. But this story would not be complete without these first pictures of the Aussies. They have been brought from Syria to play another magnificent part. One of the most important jobs in the desert battles is that carried out by the tank recovery sections. Here comes a Jerry plane. Duck! Tank reclamation is no picnic. General Auchinleck is one of those leaders who believes in seeing for himself. He's here, there, and everywhere, obtaining first-hand information on the spot. This is the man who opposes Rommel in the cauldron of war in Egypt, and on whom the big issue depends.